My name is Alyssa Mahadeo, journalist and community reporter, and I dedicate my time to searching for the stories that matter the most. Positive, uplifting, and inspiring stories that spotlight the challenges and obstacles we conquer to become the people who we are today. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of all the fairy tale lifestyles that people seem to be living on social media. Girl, you did not wake up like that. I'm interested in the genuine connections, the honest opinions, and the real uncut version of your true self. This show is about keeping it 100% real, deconstructing who we are and what we're all about. Join me as we sit down with individuals to discuss the personal struggles, the many challenges, and the moments that define us on this journey of self-discovery. Let's be real, life isn't fair and people make mistakes, but every opportunity is a learning experience. Let's discover the truth together right here on Real Talk. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Real Talk. I have Anisha out here behind the scenes dropping some stuff on me and I'm like, what? And this is how every show goes, guys. That's how you know we keep it real here in the studio every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. Guys, thank you for joining us again here. Today we have another edition of Real Talk. Make sure, before I even start this show, that you like this video because I see all y'all out there like watching the videos and like telling me about the stuff when I see you in person, but no one is liking the video. So you like, I honestly appreciate you telling me in person that you love the video and that you like what I'm doing and you see my stuff. And I'm like, guys, can you just like give me a like, give me some love so that I can see that online interaction. Also, go and follow us on Twitter at myTCNTV. Use the hashtag RealTalkTCN and tweet me during the show so that I can, you know, I can see all that interaction. I can see you guys. I can feel the love. That's all I really just want. Guys, send me some love on this show. Today we have a very interesting show. We always have an interesting show because who am I? I'm Alyssa, where we talk about interesting things. Otherwise, why are we even here? So today on this show, we're actually having, we have a dancer, a choreographer, and a doctor. So lots of titles under his belt, but his name is Anthony Prime Guerra, and he is going to be talking today about an upcoming production on the main stage of Fall for Dance North. So the production is called Obeah Opera, and it features an all-female cast, and it's going to be done, it's a narrative of the Salem Witch Trials throughout the years, through the eyes of Caribbean slave women. So to drop some knowledge or some history on you, I guess, I have an article here from the Smithsonian. Basically, it's a brief history of the Salem Witch Trials for anyone who might not know kind of the details. But basically, the witch trials occurred in colonial Massachusetts between 1692 and 93. More than 200 people were accused of practicing witchcraft, the devil's magic, and 20 were executed. I feel like that number is probably a lot more. I don't know that numbers are completely accurate in this article, but this is kind of just to give you a glimpse into what was kind of happening. Um, Eventually, people admitted that the trials were a mistake and compensated the families of those convicted, which I don't really think, kind of helps at the end of the day. But they kind of have it's a long history of where there was a witchcraft craze that happened throughout Europe in the 1300s and to the end of the 1600s, where tens of thousands of people were supposedly convicted as witches, and it was mostly women. So there was a lot of times where um, there were young women or young girls who kind of had like fits, or they would be talking about like they would be talking crazy things, and people would wonder like what's wrong with them, and then they would blame it on these women who kind of seemed like those women who were kind of like at the end of the village, or they used to keep to themselves. They were sometimes people of color. They were slaves. They were homeless. Um, and basically they would say how these women were the ones that kind of caused them to do these were the women that were afflicting them to do all the crazy things that they were doing. There were a couple of times where people actually confessed, and they said that the devil came to and bid them to serve him. And I don't know that that really helped the situation, but it kind of caused people, like especially Christian believers, to think that seriously, some type of witchcraft was going on here behind the scenes, and there was no real explanation. What it really came down to is that people were very like during this time there was a lot of things that were happening in Salem. Salem was really struggling economy wise, and people were displaced, people were aggravated, they were angry, and there was a lot of controversy that was caused throughout the time that they were there, and they kind of believed that because all these things were happening and everything was going wrong, it was the work of the devil. So that's just to give you a very brief history. I'm sure that we're gonna get more into it as we have a conversation with Anthony, and he likes to go by the name Prime, like Optimus Prime. I just asked him this outside, and that's because he is the Prime Minister, and also because he is the choreographer of Obeah Opera. So today we're going to get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about Caribbean folklore, African dance, gospel dance, Caribbean, anything like that. This kind of follows off if you guys watched Cabrina's show a couple weeks ago, where she talked a little bit about Caribbean dance and how it like it's an exuberant culture that people don't really completely 100% understand, but it's always about the art of storytelling. It's about telling a narrative that for people to understand, where people might not read a book about something, but they can still understand and see a visual representation of that. So we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. I'm going to have Anthony join us right here on Real Talk.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back. You're watching Real Talk, and I see that we have some new commercials here on the channel, so that's cool. Make sure you guys, check out the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. We're online, and we're also in West End and Caribbean grocery stores. So make sure, guys, I write articles for them. So, guys, today on the show we have Anthony Prime Guerra, and he is here. He likes to go by the name Prime. I like it. I like it a lot. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Today we are going to be discussing a little bit about the work that you've been doing as a choreographer. As I see it says here, you're a dance elder.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We don't use the term master or that stuff. As an elder, it means you have certain privileges and certain knowledge and rights that you have to pass on.
Do you want to lean a little bit closer? Because I know that the mic is probably not going to pick up everything that you say.
Okay.
All right. So, just so the audience understands a little bit more about you, tell me a little bit about your background. I see that you're a choreographer, but you're also a doctor.
Yes, I have an honorary doctorate in traditional medicine, that's why it's part of the show here. I'm from Trinidad. I used to act and dance in Trinidad, so yeah, you know, I'm a former aerobic champion, actor, dancer, you know.
So what kind of productions were you involved in Trinidad?
I did spend probably about 7-8 years in Best Village. This is what we have there. I did productions for Malik Folk Performers, Noble Douglas, Astor Johnson Dance Company, The Wood and the Workshop, Carl LaChapelle, Noble Douglas. I worked with all of them. Natangeli Dance Theatre, where I did some Katak, and even when I came here, I did some Bharatanatyam. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Bless you.
Yeah.
I used to dance. I don't dance all the time. I mean, I feel like I'm not a good dancer. I dance because I enjoy it.
Well, I go about telling people, don't say that. Once you could walk, you have rhythm, and it means you could dance. Now, understanding yourself is a whole other thing. And as I tell the people in this production, dance don't dance you, you dance.
Okay, all right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to accept that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really about finding oneself and understanding what it is we're doing. And this production is trying to revolutionize the understanding of dance in theater, in oneself, and in the community, and how it relates to who we are as a people. So, for instance, when we whine in, it goes back to the African roots of the god Heru or Bes, which goes back into Dionysus, whining, which goes back into belly dancing, which is what they call, which is the dance of the uterus, which is the dance of the universe. So whining is the dance of the universe because it spins.
And see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like a lot of our audience didn't know that, because people had this idea that whining is a very derogatory dance.
It's not, because whining represents the universe or the solar system because it spins.
Yeah.
That's why in Egypt, that particular deity is Bes. That's why it's called the dance of the uterus, because the uterus has 4 rhythms. The rhythms of the earth, the rhythm of the moon, the rhythm of the sun, the rhythm of the planets.
So what are some other kinds of like styles of dance that people might not understand the meaning behind?
All right, so sometimes when we're doing Jab Molasi, which is when the Africans and Amerindians, we use that, once they had supposed to be manumitted, not emancipated, because emancipation meant that to lift from the head. And the only people who got that were the plantation owners. They were paid. They were not paid. So you are not emancipated nor manumitted, which is what the correct term supposed to be and was always. They would smear themselves with oil, which represents the smear of themselves with oil as they were taken off the boats. They would be rubbed with coconut or palm oil, gunpowder, and lime or lemon juice, which was to grease themselves so that they would look clean, just like how you polish your shoes or shine it. Because with the being in the belly of the ship, they would not be bathing and whatever, so you'll get ashy. So when you're coming out, you need to look good to be sold. So they would do that. And that went into the cane. After they harvest the cane, the molasses, they would do the same thing. And they will sing a song, Ole Olambe, Jab Jab. And you know Ole is oil, which is oil of Ole.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Jab Jab is the devil, but Jab Jab is the god best, who is a protector of childbirth and mothers in childbirth and children. And he has this dance that is whining and choking.
Yeah.
So you see, it goes back, way back there.
Yeah.
And the college Jamolas, because they're tracing it way back to that, which you have to protect your children.
Yeah.
You have to protect your woman.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And then with that, using the fork, it represents truth, justice, and reciprocity. So that's why I pay the devil, give me my truth, my justice, and repay me for what I have lost. Which the same thing you'll see in the trident, same thing you'll see in India when you have the three-headed sprung, you'll see which purity, justice, and there's the same thing. So the fork is that. That's why you eat it a fork. You want truth, justice, and reciprocity with the rounded plate, which is your food.
There's so much symbolism here.
Yeah,
that I did not really realize.
Yeah, people
before.
don't, and in the show we're trying to expose it back, and so people don't say just whining. It has a meaning why you do that, and you understand why you're doing it, because you're showing your connection with the planet. That's why you whine. That's why you choke, because that's the movement of the earth. Night and day.
Yeah, I can see that's probably why even in back in the day too, during like times with slaves when they would have their get-togethers and stuff like that, the same thing. They're doing that as a symbolism.
Yeah, well, because because remember, your dance is your language. It's one of your languages. How you dress is another language, right?
Yep.
How you sing is a language. So when you say in your culture, you're really talking about your language, how you express yourself. And culture has 12 things that you express yourself in. Your food, your dance, your music, your art, your literature, your clothing, your housing, right? Your spirituality, your name, the land you come from, your science. See?
Yeah.
So when you say is your culture, you are saying all this thing. But if you one thing you could do only, which is, let's say, dance, because we're talking about dance, that's just one expression of these 12 things.
Yeah. This is body language. This is the language of the body.
Well, because, okay, there's a difference.
Okay.
Body language is what you would use as a ritual. Like when we came in, we shake hands.
That's a ritual.
That's a ritual, which is a body language. If I put music to it, it's ceremony. So when you say body language, if I put music, it becomes a ceremony.
Okay. And what that's blowing my mind right now because I don't realize that there's so many levels to that.
Yeah, people
right?
don't.
Again, people just kind of see it for the face value of what it's like. Yeah.
And you have to go and you have to study yourself. And then once you study yourself, you could come out and express yourself truthfully. Yeah. So that's why when I'm telling them what my ideology in dance is, form, feeling, meaning, form, feeling, healing. Once a form knows what it has to do, because dance is a muse called female, and females are emotional. So once you get emotional, you must become tactical, which is male. Yeah. So now you go through those phases, you could express yourself, but you have to be able to control your emotions. And then you become like a military idea of you chart your courses. Yeah. And then once you have that, you could frame it, right? So once you do that, it's clear. So your form, your feeling must have a meaning, and that meaning must be clear. Because if you make a mistake, it's like some women go to the club and they're dancing all sexy and welcoming, and then the guy walk up and they say, I don't want that. And they're like, but that's what you was telling me. But you don't know, you just, you were inviting me, and when I come...
Now you're upset.
Right. But that's what you were saying. So that if you were clear, they will never come, because it will be clear to them that I'm enjoying myself. You're not invited here at this point in time.
So for the women out there, because I know there's a lot of women who go to the club and they want to talk, and they want to dance, and they want to dance by themselves with their girls. Yes. What kind of dance would they do then?
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that, just how we talk about body language. Now, if you are dancing with your girls, music that's a ceremony. So the ritual ceremony with your girls is for you. Men are not supposed to be in there. But if you start backing up and moving out of that circle, you now crossing the boundaries, and I am supposed to be able to come. Yeah. Because you have opened it up for me. And it must stay within that circle. Anytime you open it, you now invite me.
Yeah. See, these are things that I would not have known if I had not brought you here on the show to tell me about how dance is kind of deconstructed in this way. Because, again, we don't study dance. We kind of just perform. There's a lot of the times I went to a performance art school when I was in high school, and they did not teach us these things. It was just basically like choreography, and this is the kind of style of dance we're going to do. But they would like never break this down. And then also from the Caribbean and the African and the folklore, and again, like you're explaining to me here now, none of those things are really taught to you even growing up. Yeah. Right? Because we're the next generation, and we don't understand.
Well, this is the whole idea. This show is to remove that and really say you have this whole experience that is you and your language that you should know. You study yourself and get there and get somebody, because even on stage, you're supposed to know, why am I sitting on this side of you? See, you're supposed to know that.
And I don't even know that.
You see? Because in this side, you are in control.
Okay.
Because I'm close to your heart. So I'm under you, you in control. If I come on that side, then I'm in control. So you didn't let me sit on that side. It's the same thing if I walk to talk to a woman, I walk to her left, which is her heart. If I go to the right, she will automatically refuse me.
I did that unconsciously, though, because this is my better side, and I prefer this side.
Well, that's what you say. That's the side you have control in.
Okay.
So you want to be in control.
Yeah.
That's why.
Right.
That's not no better.
Today we're learning things on Real Talk, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear more from Prime out here. So you're watching Real Talk.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back. You guys are watching Real Talk, and we are here in studio with Prime, and he is here. He's telling us, he's dropping some serious knowledge, guys, because a lot of things he's telling me on the break. We did this exercise where he stood on this side of me, opposed to me being the way we are now, that I'm in control on this side because he's closer to my heart. And it's true, when he was on this side, all of a sudden I felt like, oh no, I'm not in control anymore. And you could feel, like, you just feel the shift in energy in the room.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So it's really, 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 really interesting to see. And he was explaining too a little bit about dancers on stage. That's why people are placed in a certain formation.
Yes.
They're doing a certain choreography on this side or this side or this part of the stage. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the upcoming performance of Obeah Opera. Tell me a little bit about how it was inspired, how it kind of came together.
Well, this production right now, as how it is, was Nicole Brooks's initial work. And she was working with people about doing it, which is based on the witch trials in Salem, and this particular woman called Tituba. Right? Which, she's supposed to be Indian and African. They don't know how to explain it, and I'll explain to you later why we're trying to clear up all of these misinformation. And she worked with a couple of people, and then the production was supposed to be on, and everybody tell her, you need to talk to Prime. So she contacted me, and initially I was like, nah, I don't want to get involved in stuff because what I'm going to give you is not, you're going to, she said, yes, she wanted. So okay, we sat down and this is what we came up with. So when they say Indian, right, Columbus didn't speak English. He said Indios.
Indios, yeah.
Right? Dios means God, right? And in means not. Prefix or etymology of words. You have the root, etymology, and suffix. So Dios is the root word, meaning God. In means not. That's why I say inflammable, not flammable. So if I say Indios, it means that person is not without God.
Okay. So he's telling us we don't have no God.
Right. Which God we didn't have? Christianity. That's what it was bringing to you.
That's why they were bringing us the Bible.
So you don't have, right, you don't have my God. Right? You had your own God. So you don't have Christian God.
Okay.
So everybody he met were Indios, without God.
Okay.
So it's not a person, because they will say you are Indian. I'm an Indian also, right? Yeah. Because I'm from the West Indies. We're different physically.
Yeah.
But we don't have the European God, that's why we are Indios, because your country is what's called Hindustan and Daskan, and then you still have your, what they call enonyms, your local name for the country with India, which is Bharat. That's what you call it.
Yeah.
Not India.
No.
India was just chosen like not even 100 years ago.
No, it's true. They named it that after.
Right.
Yeah.
But before that, in Columbus' time, it was not called that. So, I mean, whatever. That's the history. Yeah. So when they say that, he was really saying this person without God that we're going to bring and we're going to do stuff to them. You know, and it's not a person you would say native, because native means a woman also at that time. That's why you have in Christianity the nativity.
Okay.
Which is the uterus that you are birthing. It's called native.
Okay. Now you're like, what?
Yeah, that's a native. And who was there? There was all the animals, right?
Yeah.
Which is the zodiac.
More symbolism.
See?
Guys.
So the zodiac, and then you had the three kings who came to visit, the star.
And what did they represent?
Those are Magi's, right? Which is what you call witches.
Okay.
But these are wordsmith, because that's how you get the word magistrate.
Okay. Okay.
Or magic.
All right.
Wordsmith. That's why you learn spelling in school.
Yeah.
First thing you learn is to cast spells. So you are a witch right now if you learn to cast spells with words.
Okay.
So they came because they are intuition, imagination, and interpretation. You are born with these three things. Each one is a king. Imagination, interpretation, and imitation. Those are the three kings you come with, or the three Magi's, the three words that are your key to success in life. You must imagine, must interpret, and you must imitate. That's why you imitate your parents walking and talking. That's how you get your accent and your style.
That's how you kind of become who you are. Yeah, because your parents have that influence on you.
And that become language. So all of that is language, you see. How you would dress, you learn that. The colors you would choose. How you dance, how you eat, your implements. And you imitate that. And then you enhance it. See?
All right. So how did this tie now into, I know this was the education that you kind of gave them when you came in to speak to them, I guess.
Yeah.
So how did it kind of, where was she before and kind of after, when you guys were, like, what kind of choreography was going on?
There was no choreography because the show wasn't done yet. So I was asked to come in to do choreography and help with the script, with the information, and to break down, because the history we gain is really history, right? Back home they say that Tory, which is a lie.
It's true.
But we go now and looking at the record of the past with the words and what we have been told to reconstruct it and have it clear.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So then once we do that, now because we're telling our story, if a certain word is used, we know what that means because we know it, not somebody else telling us what it means. So what's to decode all of that and then record it. So we had to also go back and strip away what our ancestors have left us and then put it back, and that's how you get the Obeah.
Okay. So, and then, so I know, and you're going to have to break down Obeah for me now.
Yes.
Because what I know to be Obeah is black magic.
Okay.
This is my own understanding of what it is, right? When people tell me Obeah, I automatically assume black magic.
Right.
But you're going to have to explain to me.
Use another word instead of black.
What'd you say? Dark.
Use another word instead of dark.
I don't know what I would use.
Okay, right. So would you say it's negative or positive?
I would say it's negative.
Right. And Obeah is none of that.
No, I didn't. That's the thing, and I don't know, right?
But I'm saying people view it same way. It's Obeah. Okay. Yeah. So Obeah comes from the word obi, which is to divine. See? So you're divining. You're actually now decoding the information. So people will use seeds or cards like a sidekick and divine your part.
And I wouldn't, you couldn't have told me.
Right. And then with that, now they would go into giving you remedies. Now, remedy, midi means middle. So they'll find a middle part to heal you, right, by using medicine, which is herbs, a botany. That's why it's important. See? So they'll give you particular herbs to heal you. So now, if they say they're talking about, for instance, I'll use a deity that we use, which is a word for God. We just use that, or Loa, I'll just use that. God. And they say issue. Once they say issue is after you, it means your nervous system is bad. If they say Oshun, it means your circulation system is have problems. If they say Shango, it's your reproductive system is bad. And if they use Ogun, your heart is bad.
And what language is this?
This is Yoruba, but it's also done in the Fong.
Okay.
The Fong would be what you call Voodoo language, but in Yoruba it would be called Orishas.
Okay.
But it means the body. See, because your lungs are called bronchias, which means branches. So you are a tree.
I am a tree.
Yeah, that's why you leave roots.
Yes.
And that's why you get fruits from the loins.
Why does everything make so much sense? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it really does when you break it down that way. It makes so much more sense.
So that's what Obeah is. So that's why they would give you all these things to use and
like
different colors. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you wear black because you want to conserve energy and be very intuitive.
Okay.
And then you wear white because you are in a position of transition. Okay. Anything that is white. That's why when you've been initiated, they let you wear white. Because you're in transition.
Okay.
And then you get your colors after.
Guys, what are we even doing here? Like, Prime's dropping some serious knowledge today on the show, and I'm like, my mind is really blown, to be honest. There's a lot of things I've learned right now in this, like it's been, it's only been a half an hour worth of conversation. Okay. And I've learned so much in regards to different words and how they're broken down to mean different things. Yes. And again, it's very, I feel like it's very presumptuous of a lot of people to assume that just because something sounds like it might be a certain way, or because certain things have been tied to it, then all of a sudden that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So the significance of the things that you're telling me means so much, especially to, again, who we are as people, as our culture, as human beings.
Yes.
So, I mean...
And that's why we would be proud. So if we go Caribbean, and nobody can say about appropriation or talk, because we can say, no, this is us, because the feather means, you know?
Yeah.
The feather means the ability to be honest with oneself.
Mm-hmm. So, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to have to, we're going to talk a little bit more about this production and kind of how people can get involved, kind of the significance behind the production itself, why they should go see it, what they can understand from it when they do go to see it. All right, so we will be right back. You're watching Real Talk. Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Real Talk. I'm your host, Alyssa Mahadeo, and today on the show we have Prime here. He is here to tell us a little bit about basically the history of words and culture and meaning and language and so many things that I find maybe our audience, I'm pretty sure our audience actually didn't really know about before. We're talking about dance and how it's kind of broken down, how each movement is broken down, how the words that we think have a specific meaning actually signify other things. And it's a really, really interesting conversation. If you're enjoying the conversation, please do like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your comments below if you have any questions. I'm sure that we can try to address them while we're still here on the show.
Of course.
So I wanted to get a little bit more into Obeah Opera, how it kind of came together eventually after you kind of came in and you deconstructed everything, and people who are going to see it, what they can kind of expect to understand from this production.
Just what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. We are decoding things that people take presumptuously, mm-hmm. superficially to mean what it is. And we say, no, it's not that. Mm-hmm. So we're actually telling our story. Okay. And then with that, we're using our dances, our song types, mm-hmm. genres. We are using our word types, mm-hmm. how we say words. So you really getting a true, this is another thing I want to say, even though we say Caribbean, mm-hmm. there is the geographical Caribbean and there's geopolitical Caribbean. Mm-hmm. The geopolitical Caribbean is from South United States, Louisiana, North Carolina, straight down to Brazil. Mm-hmm. That's why you'll hear people in Ghana be called Caribbean because they're speaking about geopolitically. We all do the same things. Yeah. But the little islands between North and South America is called the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. Okay. But when we speak, we really mean the geopolitical landscape, or you'll call it diaspora of mm-hmm. the Americas. Mm-hmm. That's what we're using. So that's how the show is going to be presented, with the song types that we have, the dances, the language, and how we dress within that time. Mm-hmm. And by using the Orisha types, mm-hmm. which is what I was just saying, from the Voodoo pantheons, mm-hmm. then you will see. So we use Shango, Oya, Ogun, Yemaya, mm-hmm. and Oshun, which is the main character. Mm-hmm. And we say these 4 witches are these types. And Yemaya, who is the mother of all, mm-hmm. is the one who given birth to all these other women or Orishas. Yeah. So we tell it in that scape from the Yoruba pantheons of God rather than any other. Because most people are familiar with that if they want to come and talk about gods like Orishas, mm-hmm. which is Oshun, which is the goddess of love. Shango is the goddess of music and dance and sex. Yemaya is the mother of all. Mm-hmm. Ogun is the hard worker, mm-hmm. And he's the heart. Then you have Oya, which is breath or air. Now I break that down to you again.
Yeah, of course.
The Christmas tree, the star on the Christmas tree is Oshun, which is circulation.
It's circulation?
Yes.
I thought it represented the North Star.
No. There's only one star we have, mm-hmm. which is the sun.
Yes.
So
I could get in school, guys.
So this is circulation. This is how you're supposed to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. So you have the brain mm-hmm. and small intestines, mm-hmm. kidney, mm-hmm. bladder, spleen, pancreas, liver, mm-hmm. sexual organs, brain, left and back up. You see, mm-hmm. 5-pointed star. That's why it's on the Christmas tree, because the back of you is called the bronchioles or rhombus. Yeah. And then bodybuilding is called a Christmas tree because it looks like that, because it's trapezius.
Okay.
So on top of the Christmas tree lies a star.
Yeah. See, this is what it's totally and also because you're a doctor, you would know these things. You would know exactly the breakdown of how these things go.
Because it's the body. Yeah. It's like when they talk about Hercules. And they say Hercules wanted to trap the 3-headed monster, Hydra. Hydra is water. Mm-hmm. But this is the 3-headed monster, tricep.
Yes.
He had to go through the deltoid swamp, deltoids.
Yes.
Ileocecal valve to trap. This is trapezoid.
Yes.
I just tell you how my arms work.
Oh my God. That is crazy. crazy. So you came in now and you're explaining this to all of the dancers. I'm sure they're probably just as mind blown as I am.
Yes.
Because they're like, I thought we were just doing a dance.
Precisely. It's just like when I say, you know the jig, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the jig is the dance of the sun, right?
I don't know that.
Right.
Somehow you're nodding. Yeah, I know
Which
that.
is samba. If you do samba, you're doing the dance of the sun. Sam means light and ba is body in Coptic Egyptian. So you learn rhythms. Like I would tell them, we don't count in fours, we count in threes and sevens. We don't count four. Because if you're doing takadimi, 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 that's three. Pati pa, pata cake, 1, 2, 3, cha cha cha.
And I'm here, I'm like, no, we're supposed to count in fours.
No. Okay. Why are you counting four?
Because that's what I was taught.
How many keys in the piano?
I'm not sure how many keys are.
7.
7.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti.
Do.
No, do is a repeat.
Oh, do, it's another repeat,
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. How many days in the week?
7.
Good. How many colors in the rainbow?
7.
How many chakras?
7. Jeez. I feel like I understand now what it means to actually like learn and absorb knowledge, because these are some like serious things. Like you could actually sit here and break down each and every one if we had more time.
Yes.
But we don't.
But that's the Obeah we're talking about, and that's what we're expressing in the show. So forget all the fiction. And stories. This is what we are saying in the show by using characters and telling the same mythology. But using real life people that went through experience, create our own story on it, using our own deities or what they'll call God to help transport that story to now. Which I said, decode it, then code it back, and then be able to do the correct dances to suit that.
Yeah.
And we're speaking on many levels of the same thing. Yes, we're talking about Tachiba, who was hanged for practicing witchcraft. Witchcraft means she was a wise woman, because that's what the word meant back then, to be a wise woman. And
is that what it meant?
That's what it meant.
So then how did it come to mean what it did?
Precisely. You see?
These are the questions I have.
Yeah. Because after the time when Europe was taken over and they were setting their women back, now a woman who had money and land became evil, because the church was taken over. So to suppress her, I say she's a witch, practicing this negative form of sorcery.
To instill fear in other people.
And to be able to kill her and take what she has. Because you're not supposed to have, if you get married, does the bank call you or call your husband?
They're probably calling my husband.
Precisely. Because you...
They don't want to talk to me.
Precisely. Now, if you wear the ring on your left finger and right finger, there's a difference. Because that's where it comes out from. This means morganatic marriage. Which means you are second in nature. You only get what the man gives you after the marriage. But if the ring is on this hand, you have equal standing to the man.
What?
And that came out of the Greeks. It's called publican, meaning a businessman or a tax collector. So when the ring is here, I've just trying to have a transaction with you.
Yeah.
And a transaction means if I'm engaged to you, and an engagement lasts 7 years.
Yeah.
That's why they will give you that, and they call it indentureship. So if I engage to you, I could engage to you for 7 years, then throw you out.
What?
And that's why on this side of the world, because you're under servitude, you wear the ring here. Where you're supposed to wear it here.
Learn all things today. I didn't even know this. I wear the ring here.
Because left is female, right is male.
Yes.
So this is magnetic, this is electric. That's why they will let you drive and make left turns, you will slow down. If you make a right turn, you speed up and you'll crash. So they designed the roads a certain way.
Man, feeling like a little bit off balance now.
Yeah. So that's why when all that is in the dance. So if I come from stage left,
yes,
it's different to when I come from stage right. It's a different energy. How I stand and talk to you is a different energy. All these things you must know.
Yes.
That's why old people say actions speak louder than words. Because how they stand, they were like, see that one? Don't talk to that one.
Yeah, that it makes a lot of sense. It really.
And then,
really,
but we
really
can't
does.
explain it because we were
No.
never told.
Yeah.
So this is what this show is.
Yeah.
And off of this, we also creating what we call a Bible, a script to explain all of that to people as it go along. Because after we finish, the next group who's going to produce this work has to understand exactly what we understand going into it, so that they wouldn't make the same mistakes as well, missteps, I should say. Because if you don't know, it's not an error. It's when you know it becomes an error. We didn't know, so we can't fault anybody.
It's true.
But now we know you're not supposed to do the same thing.
Once you know, once you have that knowledge, you can't say
Precisely.
That you
So once we put it down, they would know, and this is how it is, and they will keep it. And I saw you regain your independence. See?
So that's when people are looking for their independence. These are the kinds of things that they need to explore.
Precisely. Just how you walk in a room.
Yeah.
You tell if I'm gonna give you the job or not. If you walk on your toes, no. If you walk on your heels, yes.
Really? See, I didn't know this. Anisha, do we still have time, or is this it? So, I don't even know. I feel like this conversation got so, like, deeply involved that I'm just, like, I feel like I need to, like, sit down and, like, really think about all the things that I thought I knew.
That's why you need to come and watch the show at
Right?
Sunny Center, the 5th and 6th.
Yes.
And it's cheap. I think it's $15 because that's what it was.
It's not even a matter that it's cheap. It's that because
cool.
it's something that is so well thought out.
Well, we only doing 20 minutes. There's other companies that are going to be there also.
Yeah.
But Obeah Opera is just for 20. They give me 20 minutes, 25 minutes to do the work. That the show is 2 hours long in its full capacity because it's a musical. So it's, right?
Yes.
So everything is sung in the original work, which will be done next year for Luminato. So, but this is just the dance segment of it, using the same music, but only doing dance. And it's 20 minutes, and the 5th and 6th at 7 and 2, that's Friday and Saturday. And we're doing dance, like to express that, and then next year we're going to do the full production.
Okay.
And we're looking for money. So people who want money, please.
People who want money, please sponsor this.
Yeah, because, as I say, look what I'm trying to give.
Yes.
So if I'm going to go with the dancers and this thing, this needs to be in part. I can't do this in a month.
Yes.
So we need at least 6 weeks, 2 months to really be in there so that the dancers truly are able to express themselves. The singers are able to express themselves. So you get a certain authenticity and bringing them back into themselves and the people.
Yeah.
You know, we like to say this is we and we Caribbean and we whatever, you know. But are we really?
Are we really? This has been a serious edition of Real Talk. Let me just tell you.
Well, this real talk.
Yes.
We're doing real talk.
We are doing Real Talk. I appreciate that. Really.
You know, everybody we're doing real talk. So, you know.
So they can go. I know they can go online.
Yes.
To buy tickets for this show.
Yes.
I put all of the links to the show, the website for Fall for Fall for Dance North.
Fall for Dance North.
Fall for Dance North. So you guys can check out. I encourage you to actually go to the website, check this out. They have a bunch of other production as well. But I mean, go and see Obeah Opera just based on what we've learned here today. Sit down, do some like research, and connect with Anthony and talk to him and ask him the questions that you might have.
Yeah, I think the opportunity to do that. I have a workshop around October the 13th, I think, there that they could come and see me and they could ask, you know, and talk to me and take a class, because this is the first time, I think, I don't want to say first time because somebody always do something before you, but the folk dance of the island is going to be, and the America is going to be presented on the Sunny stage. It's major for us.
That is major for you guys. Yeah.
And everybody's going to be seeing it. We're going up against ballet companies and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is where we could shake the thing and show them who we are.
Yeah.
You know, so come support, you know.
Come support. Make sure that Caribbean dance is really understood. Caribbean African dance. It's with African traditional Caribbean folklore, calypso, R&B, reggae. It's a fusion of all of those things.
That's where the music is. We
Right.
touch everywhere. We just say geopolitical Caribbean.
Yeah.
So you have, cadence, you have samba, you have, Louisiana funk, you have, reggae, you have dub, you have calypso,
Yes.
soca, you have blues. The music is all there to help
music is
tell.
there.
But this is who we are.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us
Yes.
for another edition of Real Talk. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Anthony, thank you so
Yes.
much for coming in and sharing this knowledge with us. I feel like everyone here learned a lot today. Probably gonna have to go back and rewatch this show so that I remember to absorb all of that information. Guys, if you guys are interested in going to see the show, please do check out the links that I have in the description box below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you again next week. It's been another edition of Real Talk, and it's been too real. So, thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks.
So, see you again.